What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th of July, fresh new day here, 23 hours, 7 minutes left in the day, and we have yet again pulled a very massive wick to the downside. This one was the biggest one of the range so far. Suggesting a bit of a fake out. Now, we could still come down lower. I really wouldn't be surprised if we did take out a lot of these longs that, over the past 30 days have accumulated there. We took a lot of them out over the last 24 hours. Absolutely, we did. And we piled on a ton of shorts, you guys. I want to say before yesterday, if you drag this all the way out over here, there was only like $7 billion or $8 billion in shorts. So we piled on billions of dollars of shorts in the last 24 hours. But there are a lot of longs, too, that got piled on alongside with this wick to the upside. I still believe that there is a very solid chance we could go down to about 114K, maybe just below there, to clear out this wall of liquidity, add to the shorts, one final shakeout, and then we continue to rally. But that could have been it. Let's be real. This absolutely, that suffices. That really could have been the shakeout that we were looking for. And we are getting a positive reaction out of this area here. Looking at this so far, it's kind of like an Eve. It might actually look more obvious on a 15-minute time frame. Let's see. Like an Eve and Adam pattern. Very beautiful pattern. And typically, not always, but non-financial advisor, not a financial advisor, typically with these kind of patterns, the measure move that would go along with this would be from a low to a high here. You put this all the way up at the top. That would take us up to about $118.8 thousand. Looking at this on a one-day time frame, the last 24 hours of leverage positions that have gotten put on, 118.8 thousand, and that's the measure move. So we could go just below there, just above there, 118.8K. I mean, this large wall of liquidity right there at about 118.7K. Perhaps what we do is we clear out all of those short positions and then we move down. However, you can see that the shorts clearly have diminished in comparison to the longs. The longs have gotten put on over the past 24 hours. There are a lot of fresh positions down at these areas that we were just at not that long ago, ready to get cleaned out. I mean, if we were to move down there. And in all fairness, looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, we are moving up with a decay in volume, with a kind of lackluster in volume. I mean, we did the same thing over here, right? We kept moving up. We had a flat top here, lack in volume. We just couldn't really get overbought. Here you are getting a little bit overbought, honestly, but you're not really running with it. And each time there's just less and less volume. I can't help but think that we might roll over. It looks like the price action itself is kind of rolling over. You can see this, right? And with this kind of action, you typically do get a very fast move down when it comes to fruition. With that in mind, maybe we move up a little bit first. Perhaps we do. Again, I mean, we could go all the way up to about 118.8K first and then move down. We could end today with a wick to the upside and then move down. But I am, at this point in time, still considering prices that are potentially below this low. I'm not banking on it. I'm not waiting on that or expecting it necessarily. I'm just maybe I should say I am expecting it. I'm not counting on it. Like, if it doesn't happen, I wouldn't be too surprised. But at this point in time, with just how low we've gone and where we are right now, if you look at this on a 1-hour time frame, we are kind of at an area where we found support time and time again, right? We broke down, and now we're finding resistance potentially at this area that really upheld as support over the past week or so. So it's very possible that we do reject from this area. But if we push higher, if we can push higher, a little bit higher, I would think that at least 118.8K would be where we go. Or maybe at most, I should say, 119, just below there, something in that area there. If we're looking at this on the 1-hour time frame, the 1-hour RSI is at the same area that it's been rejecting from really this whole time. Sometimes we do get into that overbought zone, but it's more, that typically happens with these more methodical kind of moves, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right, throughout this whole thing. If you get these kind of just straight shots up like this, that's where you get these rejections from this area. And granted, these were more toward the overbought zone. We could reject here. We might go up a little bit more. Again, suggesting that we could go up maybe to about 118.8K or 118.5K, something around there, before going lower. But just saying that's at the moment what I'm kind of expecting. Let's actually look at this too, from a high to a low. High to a low here. You're just above the 0.5. That's nice. I wonder if you're respecting that fib or if you're respecting this one. Maybe you're respecting both. Yeah, you're at the golden ratio here. Even if we move down, I want to be clear. Maybe this will be unclear. Even if we move down here, we still could go up to about 118.8K. Something around that area, right? You got your 886 up here, just below 119K, this little box. it's very common to find resistance at the golden ratio, move down to the 0.5 or the 382, and then move up. So even if we go as low as like 116.5, that doesn't mean that we're going all the way down here, right? Not to make things confusing. I still am under the assumption that we could go below these lows, but just because we move down even from here like $1,000 doesn't mean that we're going there. We could move down, come up, and then start our onslaught to the downside. Who knows? It is the weekend. Things are going to be a little bit tricky over the weekend, you guys. And that would make sense, actually. Going from the golden ratio to the 382, that's an area that we found support at, time and time again. Maybe we come down, find support, and then we rip all the way up here right before our final descent, our final shakeout. Unless, of course, this was our final shakeout. I mean, that was a very intense shakeout right there, you guys. A lot of volume. And we tried to go lower, but less volume came in. That was a clear signal that we were moving higher, and higher, higher we are right now. Can we get much higher? The 1 hour RSI does look like it's at an area to top off, but maybe we go up a little bit more first. The 4 hour RSI, also has this lower high trend here. If we're looking at this from this angle, lower high trend, but again suggesting that we could go up a little bit more first and then come down. And perhaps what we see is some bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame. With that, you'd get a higher low in the RSI and a lower low in the price. So something that closes maybe just below 115K. We could wick all the way down to 113K and then come back up and close, get a massive wick to the downside, something like what we saw on this low candle here. We don't really have any massive wicks, really. I mean, so something akin to these, maybe akin to like this, but to the down effect instead of the upside. But something lower to give us some bullish divergence. Typically, these downtrends do end with bullish divergence, but that doesn't mean it has to. Just because it's typical doesn't mean it has to. At this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if we moved up a little bit first, right? A little bit above 118K. Clear out these shorts and then attack the longs, right? Whenever the shorts are decimated, it's time for the longs to get a lick, and it's looking like we're moving up right now. If we're looking at this here on the daily time frame, any day now, guys, we should be breaking out. It's not in me to call for a weekend getaway, a weekend breakout, but we actually might break out on Sunday. We do like to break out on Sundays or Mondays sometimes. It could happen today, Saturday, but I don't think it's going to be today, Saturday. But whenever we do move up higher, the expectation would be that we go all the way up to about $130,000 to $150,000, and those are very realistic targets to have even by the end of this month of July. Let alone going into August. Afterwards, after we're done with that 130 to 150K area, we'll be moving up to 180 to 190,000. That is the ultimate target destination for this move. That's where I believe we'll make our next 4 to 8 week consolidation phase, and then going into the end of the year, we should have another rally going into like October, November, maybe even December. Things are going to just get more and more erratic as we continue moving higher. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.